What's poppin', y'all? This is your go-to guy for the hour, your DJ, Brian Jew, and you're listening to What's Poppin' on TBS efm. Today is Tuesday, which means I'm coming to you guys from the dungeon. Yes, I'm trying to sound scary, but you guys know I'm not scary. I'm a funny, goofy, wonderful guy. That's what I am, and I can't be scary even if I try to. I'm such an innocent little dude. Anyways, down here in the dungeon, I do get scared a little bit because there are rumors that this place is haunted, and that's probably why I'm scared, and not because I'm a scary person, nor are the people that I work with scary at all. We're wonderful people here, great family, but it gets a little cold down here. But today, since it is Tuesday, I'm very excited because I won't be alone in the studio. We're going to have Mike Jones in the second half with us too, and I'm really eager to find out which song or album he's going to be going over. But right now, we got to go over the first song. And the first song actually has to do with the theme that we're going to go for today, because the first half of all the songs will be in Korean. And that's also a hint to what the word of the day will be. And I'm not going to tell you what the word of the day is, but if you want to find out, listen to the next song, the first song of this show, of course. And it's not in the title, but if you listen carefully, you'll see why we chose this word. All right, check it out, y'all. This is Psy with Gangnam Style. That was Psy with Gangnam Style, and you're listening to What's Poppin' on TBS efm, and we'll be right back after a word from our sponsor. Welcome back to What's Poppin' with Brian Jew. We're on TBS efm 101.3 in Seoul and surrounding areas, and GFN 98.7 in Gwangju and 93.7 in Yeosu. Now, how to get in contact with us? Pretty simple. You can text us at sharp or pound 1013 for a charge of 51. Send us a tweet at EFM Poppin', or you can send us an email at efm@gmail or efmpoppin@gmail.com. And remember, you guys can send in your requests, but we won't be able to play them live for you today. But or just give us a shout out. That means a lot to us, knowing that you guys are supporting us through everything that we do. Also, another thing to remember. I'm sorry, I'm turning all like fob on you. You can join us here in the studio for Open Studios on Wednesdays at 11 a.m. That will be broadcasted on Fridays, of course. So if you want to be a part of that, please send us an email to reserve your spot. And remember, we'll be doing this every Wednesday. But this week, we're actually going to be having our Open Studio at Yonsei University in the KLI building tomorrow at 1 p.m. So if you want to be involved with that, please be there before 1 p.m. and send us your email, your information and your telephone number to our email, efmpoppin@gmail.com, and we'll be sure that Eugene will take care of you guys, so you guys will be there. Don't get lost, and have a fun afternoon with me, Olivia, and Eugene as well. Also, another announcement, we said this yesterday as well, but you can participate in all TBS EFM's broadcasts via Kakao Talk, so make sure to add us as a plus friend. Here's how. You open the app, tap the More menu on the bottom right hand of the screen, and select Plus Friend, and simply search TBS and then add TBS EFM as your plus friend. And when you add us, it's pretty simple. You can participate in all our broadcasts by sending text messages, pictures, video files, and the best part is it's all free of charge, so you guys have nothing to worry about. So, with that said, we're going to go into our word of the day. And today's word of the day is a place. Remember, we've went over places like California and New York so far. Well, today's word of the day is Seoul. So all the songs in the first half of our show will be about Seoul. It's a great city, and I live in it as well. That's why it's so great, because Brian Jew is here. Ha, 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 ha. Just jokes. But here are some fun facts, a few facts about Seoul. Now, Seoul was founded in 17 BC and became the capital of the Joseon Dynasty in 1394. And it has had many different names, including Hansong, Hanyang, Gyeongsong, and Namgyeong. In the Japanese colonial era, it was known as Keijo. And it's not clear when it exactly became Seoul like we know it today, but it was sometime within the last 150 years, of course. And Seoul was the first city in Asia to have electricity, streetcars, running water, and the telegraph and the telephone all at the same time. And during the Korean War, Seoul changed hands 4 times and has such a rich history. And if you come to visit, there's so many museums and other places that you can see and learn about our city, of course. So, with that said, we're going to play a song for you guys with Seoul in the title, of course. And this is Together Brothers with Seoul. Seoul, That was the Together Brothers with Seoul. Now, coming up on today's show, it's Tuesday, so we're going to be having Mike Jones join us in the second half for Poppin Review. So Mike will review an album from either back in the day or maybe even yesterday, whatever he feels like it. It's his corner. We're not going to make him do things he don't want to do. It's up to him. Alrighty, so stick around for the second half to find out what he's going to be talking about. Now, you know one thing that's great about Seoul, for me personally, I think it's one of the greatest things. There are a lot of districts that will have all the same products for sale. And right near the TBS station where we're at right now, there's a motorcycle district where you can find hundreds of motorcycles, you know, those mini bikes, and all the shops. You can get their accessories, you know, helmets, all that good stuff. And another great area, there's a baking district, an electronic district, you name it. If they sell it, there's probably a district for it as well. Another cool thing is the open markets like Namdaemun and Dongdaemun, and you can go shopping at nice department stores. But sometimes the most fun part of the shopping part for me is, you know, your skills on haggling, trying to discount the prices of the purchases you want to get. And, you know, for example, if you want a shirt and they charge you like Iman won or 20,000 won, you can be like, no, 10,000 won. And they'll say, no, 18,000 won. And then finally you shoot back up a little bit to 15,000 won. And if, in reality, since they said 20,000 won and you get it for 15,000 won, you just saved yourself a few wons, of course. A few thousand wons. And that's probably the best thing about shopping in Korea. It's just, you know, all that fun experience. That's one thing you should do in Korea. If you come to Korea, if you go to Dongdaemun and Namdaemun, you go shopping, word of advice, try to do that. It's fun. And sometimes you can't get the price to go down, but, you know, it never hurts to try. So let's listen to another song. This was about the 2002 World Cup in Korea and Japan, which had its opening games in Seoul, of course. And here's Cho Soo-mi with Champion. That was Cho Soo-mi with Champion. Now, another wonderful thing about Seoul is how connected it is by rail. And there's the subway, the KTX, the train, and you can be anywhere in the country in just a few hours, even just a few minutes, thanks to the great railroad service that we have here. And I know it sounds like I'm being a little propaganda piece for the country, but I'm serious when I say this. Back in the U.S., you have to drive everywhere. So for people without cars, you know, it was a little hassling for me to try to get to my friend's house. If it wasn't close, you know, if it was close, I can walk. But if it wasn't, I'd have to, you know, somehow find a ride, ask my mom, my dad, you know. And, you know, I just feel like Korea's got some of the best infrastructure, of course. And I think it helps that Korea is such a small country by comparison. But if you come here, it's like you don't even need a car. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Having a car is way more convenient. I love having my car. But sometimes it's not necessary. You don't need it. You know, the transportation here is amazing. Not just the trains and the KTX I was saying earlier, but, you know, just the public transportation is so convenient. And the best part is it's very, very affordable as well. Anyways, the next song that we want to play for you guys is from a group called Koreana, and it's about the 1988 Olympics, which were held in Seoul. And here's Koreana with Hand in Hand. Welcome back to What's Poppin', and now it's time for Paparazzi. Now, over the weekend, I mentioned this yesterday as well. You guys know that Snoop Dogg was here in South Korea for a concert. Now, today's Paparazzi news might not be online anywhere, but you won't hear about it as well because it's exclusive right now from Mr. Eugene himself. Now, it's not about Snoop Dogg, but it's has to do with the attendance at the concert. And I want to talk about the people who actually attended the show. And two of the people that attended the show are UKISS members, Kevin and Eli. And Eugene and his friend Maggie saw them as they were coming out of the restroom, of course, the men's room. And his friend Maggie was starstruck, so he wanted to take a picture with them. So he waited outside the bathroom politely, because that's the right thing to do. Hint, hint. Because I've had people come up to me while I'm still on the urinal, doing my thing, asking me for a picture. That's just rude, all right? Because I'm trying to, you know, relieve myself. Anyways, so Maggie was waiting outside the bathroom when Kevin and Eli came out. And Maggie was like, hey, could I get a picture with you guys? And Eli politely refused, obviously, because, you know, you're trying to have a good time. And Eli, he's a good kid, so I know he probably was like, I'm so sorry, but I got to get back to my friends, and the show's starting, so hopefully next time. So Eli, you know, respect for that as well. So no picture was taken, but Maggie was still happy that he saw them in the bathroom. So on the way back to the crowd, Maggie told his girlfriend that he almost got pictures with... What do you think? What do you think Maggie said, y'all? I told you Kevin and Eli from UKISS, but Maggie said he almost got pictures with Shiny. I That's understandable. If you're, you know K-pop, you listen to the music, you don't always have to know which singers are from which group. It does get confusing, especially with K-pop, because you have groups with 2,000 members in them, so it's just a little confusing for me as well. I work in the business. Kids come up to me in the studios and dressing rooms like, 선배님, I'm so-and-so, and I'm like, what group is that person from? I get confused all the time. So, Maggie, I don't blame you if you thought they were from SHINee, but they're not, alrighty? Eli and Kevin are from You Kiss. All right, and they're my boys. I love those little boys. So I'm gonna play You Kiss track for this. I want to dedicate this to Maggie because you cracked me up thinking they're from SHINee. This is You Kiss with Man Honey. Welcome back to What's Poppin', and now it's time for Mr. Mike Jones's corner.
Hello,
Poppin' Review
with Mr. Mike Jones.
Yeah,
and Brian.
What is that sound?
I'm doing that thing you do. Doing that thing. That's is that right?
You have to actually have like a little.
You have to have an
melody.
octave. Oh, I'm going to work on that next week. I will be back with some
autotune.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward.
Until then,
yes.
Until then, we got lots to talk about today.
Let's talk.
Lots
about
to talk about. Little time. We got to shove in a whole bunch of stuff into a really, really tight space.
Alrighty. Whoa.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyways.
Alrighty then. Hey,
yes.
I brought an album that I want to talk. I would like to say that I was actually cleaning my house this weekend, and this is what inspired this. But that would be a complete and total lie because I rarely clean my house because I really.
Are you a messy person?
I'm not a messy person, but I'm just not a cleaner.
Well,
I keep my house relatively neat. Like, I don't let papers and socks and stuff fly all over the floor and whatnot.
Right.
So I keep stuff relatively tidy.
Okay.
But I don't like dust and vacuum very often.
I don't think a lot of people dust that often. But
boring.
I mean, it's boring, but you got to think about it. You don't want to invite friends over, and then they judge you because of your dirty space.
That's right. But
for me,
so I don't have any friends that I invite over. I always go to other people's houses.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like, it's not only about that. It's also when I had a long day of work.
Yep.
I want to come home to a nice, clean environment.
Granted.
Yes. So,
Brian, do you clean your own house, or I've got to ask this, do you hire someone?
Both.
Oh, man, see, I got to hire someone. I've got this tiny little house, so I feel guilty about hiring somebody to come in and clean a house that I really, really could do by myself.
Yes.
But I'm very busy, and I when I come home after work, I want to sit and watch a movie. I don't want to sit down and I think I'll mop the floor. No, I don't want to do that.
You don't have to mop the floor, but, just get like a cleaning lady coming like once or twice a week. No, once or twice a month, I meant.
Once or twice a month, yeah.
And
wow, you're really dirty.
They'll do your laundry,
Yep.
clean your floors, your bathrooms.
Nice.
And for me, it's like, since I am a tidy, neat freak type of dude,
Yep.
my cleaning lady comes once or twice a week, and she cleans the bathrooms and pretty much does my laundry, and I do everything else.
Right on. Okay.
I'll wash the dishes, she'll put away the dishes.
Okay.
She does laundry, I end up folding the laundry.
Okay.
Because I'm very anal with the whole, I want my clothes folded a certain way.
Okay. Are you the kind of guy that folds his clothes even when they're dirty?
No.
You fold them neatly and put them in the dirty laundry bin?
Actually, there's two ways of folding for me. If it's folded the way I like it, like the 3-ply, I call it, the way,
Okay.
department stores do it in the States,
Yep.
that's when it's brand new. It came out of the dryer.
Okay.
Now, if it's just half folded and put in a little basket in my closet, that means I'm going to rewear it,
Right.
but it's already been worn.
Gotcha. So you know exactly.
Exactly.
Do you have that same philosophy for your socks?
Ew.
I was trying to catch you. We're talking about spring cleaning is what we're doing, and I wanted to talk about an album, a great album to listen to when you're cleaning your house.
Oh.
It's spring cleaning. That means you open up the windows and let all the air in, and you throw all the dust out and all that stuff. It
Yes.
always feels good. And one of the great albums to listen to while you're doing this is an album by one of my absolute favorite all-time bands, Train.
Train.
I love Train. And the album is their newest album, just came out last year. It's called California 37.
Mm-hmm.
And it has some of the coolest songs, some of the coolest lyrics, they're just an awesome group. I mean, they're just a feel-good group.
They're great. I mean, I love their songs.
Yep. Yeah,
Yes.
they're
catchy.
They're catchy. They've always
Yes.
got that rhythm, that beat, that lyric that just kind of catches your imagination, kind of
So I'm
catches your
assuming
soul.
you've been a big fan of theirs since 1998.
Since 1998, since the beginning. Yep, you got it.
I did my research on you too. I'm a spy.
Fantastic. Good
Yes.
job. Yep, 1998, when their first album came out, was Meet Virginia. I can't wait to meet Virginia. Anyway,
that song I don't know.
Yep. And they also came out with a song, still my favorite, probably my all-time favorite song ever in the whole wide world. It's called Free. And it's if you want to go back and do some Train history, go back and listen to the album Free. But we're not talking about their first album. We're talking about California 37, which is a kind of comeback album for them.
Right. Well, then you know what? Before we get into the album deeply and more in detail, we want to play a song from the album.
Woo-hoo.
This is Bruises featuring Ashley Monroe with Train.
Awesome.
Once again, that was Train featuring Ashley Monroe with Bruises.
Man, you guys should have seen. Brian was in here dancing. He's like got this into this country kick, and that song's kind of got a country
Susanna,
rhythm.
Oh, don't you cry for me.
If you guys want to see a picture of Brian dressed up like a cowboy, you need to send in approximately 100 tweets. Next to EFM Poppin.
Actually, no, you have to make our Twitter followers up to 2,000 followers.
Nice.
And then we will send you a picture of me wearing a cowboy hat.
Cowboy suit with like hat and really cool boots.
That's what we're going to do.
All right.
Yeah. But we're not talking about cowboys. We're talking about Train.
We're talking about Train. That is the song we just listened to is Bruises, one of their leading
great
songs.
song.
It is a great song. You know,
you said it sounds kind of country.
It does sound kind of
so
country.
All you country haters out there, give it a chance. It's a great song.
Exactly. It is. It's a wonderful song. And you know what the cool thing is? I heard that song first right before going to my 20th high school reunion. Mm-hmm. And like the lyrics in the song is basically talking about meeting up with somebody again after, knowing somebody a long time ago, kind of having a long time in between and then meeting them again. And he says it's been like 10 years in the lyrics he talks about. Has it been 10 years kind of thing? Anyway, for me, it was 20 years going back to my high school reunion. And, like the song, it really touched me. It's like you're going back and you're meeting these people that were such a significant part of your life. And now, it's like, wow, what have you been up to? What have you gone through? What are the bruises that you've experienced in your life? Like, cause we've all, in our lives, we've all had things that kind of hurt us or we've gone through some pain. A lot of people have gone through divorce, at my age. They've got kids, they've got this, they've got that. It was a really, really interesting time to go back and
Wait, your
see
friends
this.
have kids? Aren't you like 25?
I wish, Brian. I wish. Thank you very much. I know I look at least 26.
Yes.
No, I'm actually, we've talked about this.
I know your age. I'm
days.
just saying it for all the listeners out there who are curious, who probably don't know, because you said 20th anniversary of your high school reunion.
Yep.
So you're probably thinking like, Mike is that old? No, he's not that old.
I'm that young.
He's that young, yes.
Yes. I'm approaching the delightful age of 40.
Which means
I'm
you're
39.
going to be over the hill.
No, man. No.
I'm going to buy you the over the hill cup.
No. My mom's birthday is her 65th birthday is coming up in June. Now she is officially over the hill.
No, you know what they say? It's on cards and all those gift shops in the States. You know, those little wacko
Yeah, those
gift
shops that are bankrupt because nobody goes in them?
I bought stuff.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, we're talking about Train.
Yep.
Not about age.
Talking about how old I almost am.
Well,
the truth is Train, these guys are old.
Yeah, older.
They're as old as my brother. The lead singer, what's his name? Pat Monahan. Mm-hmm. He's as old as my brother.
Well, how old is
45 years. Oh no, he's 44 years old.
He's looking good for his age.
They all look good. Those guys are awesome, and they're just such classic kind of rockers. They come out of San Francisco. They've got such a cool story. Like they really went through a whole bunch of pain and they started off literally, got in $1,000 van and they decided to drive across.
Those are the bands I love.
They
start from scratch.
They started from scratch. They worked their butts off and they're professionals. They really are. I think they know how to work a crowd. They really know how to blend themselves into the social culture. A lot of the songs on this album, particularly, they make a lot of references to things that are going on in our modern day society. In fact, the next song that we're going to listen to is This Will Be My Year. If you listen to it and listen to the lyrics, he's talking about a lot of historical events that happened. The song's really good because it kind of talks about how he's looking for his love, and his quest to find that the one love of his life has led him through this historical kind of context where he's, we've all experienced these cool things throughout history, including like the building of Facebook he mentions in this song. All sorts of cool stuff that he mentions, and it's really interesting.
That's why it's called This Will Be My Year.
This Will Be My Year. Yeah, he's, he describes his I guess we'll say lackluster romantic history and the events that led up to his eventual finding of his true love. And he's married now. Pat Monahan is married for the second time, and he's got apparently a very lovely wife, and he's got a bunch of kids, and he's happy.
Alrighty. Yeah. Well, with that said, we're going to check out this track because I'm eager to listen to it. This is Train with This'll Be My Year. That was Train with This'll Be My Year. It's a great song.
I love that song. Yeah, it's awesome. Yep. It's inspiring.
I like Pat's voice.
Yep. He's the one guy, and I'm not going to try and say that I can sing like him, but he's the one guy that I actually have the ability, if I actually really try to sing, I actually have the ability to somewhat catch. He can go like way higher than, he grabs those octaves that are way up there that blow me away.
You'd be surprised. You practice, you might get even better than he is.
You never know. You never know. Am I too old to start singing and practice singing, Brian?
I always say this about everything in life. You're never too old for anything.
Okay.
Just put your heart and mind to it and just put everything into it.
Okay.
Like with me, I've actually had somebody told me that I'm too old to work out. I'm like, what?
What?
I was
Dude.
like, I will cut you in the face for saying that. Shoot. Anyways.
I gotta ask, last week we talked about Fun and that Some Nights album and
Some nights. It turned into a country song.
Yes, it's awesome. Anyway, we talked about that, and we talked about the lead singer Nate Roos and how many octaves he can hit. I think he's got the ability to hit 4 or 5.
He's crazy.
He's crazy, and I'm curious, how many can you hit?
I don't think I've actually tested myself for that, but I'm going to try now that you made me curious.
The
about
challenge.
octaves.
So if we get 1,000 followers, 2,000 followers, you get to listen to Brian, or you get to see Brian in a cowboy suit, and you get to see him testing his octave range. There you go. This album is really good. We're talking about great albums to listen to when you are cleaning. I think this is a great album to listen to anytime. Driving in a car, playing with your friends out in the beach, doing whatever. It's a great album to listen to. It's got some great themes. The songs have great themes. One of their songs, we're not going to listen to that today, but it's a song that got really popular called Drive By. It talks about being
that song.
It is a great song, and it's about learning to be more than just a playboy.
Yes.
Learning to value relationships more than just
learning to be more than just what Mike Jones is.
I am not a playboy. Hey, I've got a girlfriend now, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, if you go on Facebook, Brian, you can see her.
You know what?
Yep.
You two are made for this.
Oh!
Look at that.
Nice segue, brother.
Yes. Because
Nice.
that's all the time we have for today. We did talk about Train. We talk about all their songs. Pat Monahan looking young for his age as a great singer. Mike, who thinks he can sound like Pat Monahan. Hopefully that'll happen. But it's time to wrap up the show. We just want to thank you guys for tuning into What's Poppin'. Lots of love for you guys. Mike, thank you once again for coming in for Poppin' Review.
Go out and buy California 37 by Train. It's really good.
Please do.
Yep.
And can you introduce the last song?
I can. The song is called We Were Made for This by Train. Have a good day, everybody.
Yes, have a good day, y'all. This is Brian Jew and
Michael Jones.
signing off. Peace.